Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lucia Malida. I'm student of Magister Primary School Teacher Education, Indonesian Education University. My presentation about implementation of character education as a representation of the entity and identity of the Indonesian nation in the 21st century. People behind the screen, Dr. Tita Mulyati MPD, Academic Counselor, Dr. Haji Yunus Abidin MPD, Head of Study Program, and me, Lucia Merida, student. Abstract. This research aims to find out how character education is implemented as an embodiment of the entity and identity of the Indonesian nation in the 21st century. The research method used in the research is qualitative research in the nature of a literature study. Character education is the main foundation of education. Character education is very important in facing the 21st century, along with the emergence of very rapid globalization, which can have a negative impact on the world of education. In this way, globalization must be balanced with the cultivation of character education. Increasingly, advanced information technology can use character values to fight for the reason foundation for character education in the 21st century is needed. Based on the result of the preliminary study, the implementation of character education in the 21st and entity and identity Indonesian nation. Introduction. In the world of co-education, many student problems are found, one of which is character problem. For example, bullying between fellow students, the rise student discipline, and the rise of student delinquents. This shows that the student character or moral are getting worse and out of concern. This is only natural because time and technology are increasingly advanced in the era of globalization in Indonesia. The influence of Western culture has both positive and negative impact. Teachers can always try to understand the selectivity of technology used so that not all information is immediately absorbed by students. Apart from that, understanding is provided and students are guided so that we can utilize technology optimally in a better direction from creativity, innovation, and scientific development. With the flood of globalization, in there are many negative impacts that cause student character to decline drastically. Therefore, character education is very important to implement in education in Indonesia, especially in the 21st century. Character education is the foundation of education. Character education also reflects the entity and identity of the Indonesian nation. Method. In this research, the author used a qualitative approach with a literature study method. Literature study can be interpreted as a series of activities relating to methods of collection library data, reading and taking notes, and processing research material. Rahayu, 2020. Literature of library research is carried out by searching for writing material of source, article, and journal related to the topic being discussed. The author researched for sources of related scientific articles on the Google Scholar and Science Direct site using the keyword character education, entity, national identity, and result and discussion. 21st century entity and identity of the Indonesian nation character building. 21st century. Life in the 21st century, or often called Revolution 4.0, where aspects of life in Revolution 4.0 are changing very rapidly, especially its aspect of technology and information. The development of the Industrial Revolution requires various changes in every activity, including the field of education. Through technological development in the learning process, students will be able to face these various changes. Alimuddin et al. 2023. The 21st century is an era where technology, communication, and information are developing rapidly with advanced technology that makes it easier for humans to carry out activity and do them instantly, and the 21st century is an era of globalization, which has both negative and positive impact in its development in every aspect of life, including education, especially teacher. It is now that there are many challenges in the current era where everything use technology, and it is a challenge for teachers to know how to carry out creative and innovative learning and be able to compete in the current century so that teachers remain at the center of learning and are not displaced by information from other sources. And teaching is also one of ensuring that the quality of education in Indonesia can be better and not decline. Maulida Nurul 2022. Technology in the 21st century is indeed developing very rapidly, but this century is also called a critical era because in this century there is an era of globalization. That is, all life is using technology, especially technology, communication, and information that is obtained instantly. However, there are several negative things faced in the 21st century, namely the economic crisis, terrorism, racism, human trafficking, drug abuse, cultural avoidance, which is still low. The quality of education is decreasing, and so on. Entity and identity of the Indonesian nation. Etymologically, ethnicity comes from the ancient Greek word ethnos, which connotes the concept of civilized human. The term ethnicity actually only appeared in the 1950. The term ethnicity is closely related to the birth of new countries after World War II, which were often born carrying a tribal spirit. Discussion about ethnicity deepened after the breakup of the countries in the Balkans and the Soviet Union. The outbreak of democratization followed by declaration politics by giving certain regions the right to freedom is also suspect to have triggered an increasingly massive discourse about ethnicity in various countries around the world. Tiller, 2007. Identity itself has the meaning of a characteristic possessed by each party which is intended as a differentiator of comparison with other parties. Meanwhile, not national or nationalism mean an ideology which holds that an individual high his loyalty must be given to the national state. National identity is the national personality or national identity that a national has the differentiate one national from another nation. Etymologically, national identity comes from the word identity and national, The word identity comes from the English language identity, which has a literal meaning, a characteristic side of identity that is attached to a person. Aulia 2020 group of something so that it differentiates it from other. The word national refers to the concept of nationalhood, so national identity is a characteristic side or identity that is attached to a country so that it differentiates it from other countries. Neighborhood 2022. Terminologically, national identity is a characteristic possessed by a nation that philosophically differentiates that a national from other nation. In Richard 2020, character building. The term character is taken from the Greek for charism, which means marking and focusing on how to apply good value in the form of action or behavior. So people who are dishonest, cruel, greedy, and have bad behavior can be said to be people who have bad character. But on the contrary, people who behave in accordance with moral rule will be called people of noble character. Character is a person's good and bad behavior or attitude in everyday life. Character can also determine a person's future because the character carried out in everyday life will become a habit. And if someone has bad character, it can make it possible for someone future to be hate. And conversely, if someone has good character, it can make it possible for someone future to be good. Adha and Susanto 2020. Character education aims to create a young generation who has noble character, cares about fellow human, is disciplined, responsible, religious, and so on. The character maintained above the character who are able to face the negative impact of globalization, so that in everyday life they can also be someone who respect other people. In import dual character, this has now been strengthened by presidential regulation concerning strengthening character education. In the presidential regulation, it is stated that strengthening character education is the responsibility of the education unit or school. However, education institution or a unit require collaboration with family and communicate as a form of the national movement for mental regulation. There are several principles that can help character education so that its implementation can run effectively. Ins- Instilling positive character values that are universal or can be accepted by everyone. Defining character comprehensively, which include aspects of thought, feeling, and behavior. Giving more attention to student effectively, creating a meaningful academic curriculum, providing motivation or advice to students, involving all school components as a moral learning community, involving family and community as partners. Indonesia is a country with the Pancasila philosophy as a guide and outlook in the life. The character of the young generation of the Indonesian nation must uphold dignity, humanity, unity, deliberation, and social justice. However, globalization has made the younger generation forget the character of Pancasila. Hibatullah 2022. So, no matter what, in facing globalization, the main foundation is character education. It is hoped that the implementation of character education will be able to make someone intelligent in thinking and able to regulate their emotion. Being intelligent in controlling emotion can be an important profession to prepare students to survive in life. With emotional intelligence, students can This period can of challenge to achieve academic success. Mainland dari 2080 in Humaira and Dwi 2021. Conclusion. Based on the research above regarding the application of character education as an embodiment of national entity and identity, it is very important in facing the 21st century, along with the emergence of very rapid globalization which can have a negative impact on the world of education. In this way, globalization must be balanced with the cultivation of character education. Increasingly advanced information technology can cause the character values of a nation to fade. For this reason, a foundation for character education is needed in the 21st century. Specifically defined, character is good values, good in speech or behavior. The beginning of character information is in the family because the family is the first place of education for children. Character itself can develop and be influenced by the environment because apart from family, the environment also play a role in shaping a child's character. Character education is very important and strategic step in shaping the character of Indonesian society. That's all my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.